Have you ever felt like your children just don't listen to you the way they used to? Like your opinions don't matter as much anymore? Or worse, like they're making decisions for you instead of with you? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many of us, as we get older, start to notice a shift in how our kids treat us. And let's be honest, it hurts. It can make you feel invisible, dismissed, even disrespected in your own family. But here's the good news. You don't have to accept it. In fact, there are powerful, practical ways to regain that respect, not by demanding it, but by embodying it. Today, I'm sharing 6 strategies that can help you rebuild that connection and remind your children just how much your wisdom and experience matter. Now, these aren't quick fixes or manipulative tricks. These are real, actionable steps that come from a place of strength, self-respect, and love. And we're going to start with the first 2 because they lay the foundation for everything else. 1. Stop chasing their approval. Set boundaries instead. The first thing we need to talk about is something that might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's crucial. You have to stop seeking your children's approval. I know that's easier said than done. As parents, we're wired to want our kids' love and respect. But when we're constantly trying to please them, we actually give away our power. Think about it. If you're always adjusting your behavior, biting your tongue, or going along with things just to keep the peace, what message does that send? It tells them, even unconsciously, that your needs don't matter as much as theirs. And over time, that can erode respect. So what do you do instead? You set gentle but firm boundaries. For example, if your son or daughter interrupts you or talks over you, instead of staying quiet, you might say calmly, "I'd like to finish my thought." No anger, no guilt, just a simple statement of your worth. When you do that consistently, something amazing happens. They start to notice, they start to adjust. Because now, you've shown them that you respect yourself, and that teaches them to respect you too. 2. Reclaim your independence. It's more powerful than you think. Now, let's talk about independence. One of the biggest reasons adult children start treating their parents differently is because they start seeing them as needing help in every area of life. Maybe you had a health scare, or you've asked for assistance with technology or errands, and suddenly, they're making decisions for you, talking down to you, or treating you like you're fragile. But here's the truth. The more you can do for yourself, the more they'll see you as capable. That doesn't mean refusing help when you truly need it. It means taking pride in what you can do. Maybe it's managing your own finances as long as possible, learning a new skill, or even just driving yourself to appointments if you're able. Every time you show competence, you remind them, "I'm still here. I'm still strong." And if they still try to take over, you might say something like, "I appreciate your concern, but I've got this." No defensiveness, just confidence. Because respect isn't given, it's earned through action. Now, these first 2 steps are about shifting the dynamic from within, standing firm in your worth and showing your capabilities. But there's more to it. In the next part, we'll talk about how to communicate in a way that commands respect without confrontation, and why sometimes the best way to regain respect is to give it less attention. Sound surprising? You'll see what I mean. So, we've talked about how setting boundaries and reclaiming your independence can shift the way your children see you. But what about those moments when tensions rise? When you do speak up and they dismiss you, or worse, argue back? That's where the next 2 strategies come in. Because respect isn't just about what you do, it's about how you communicate. 3. Speak with calm authority, not anger or pleading. Let's be real. When we feel disrespected, our first instinct is often to react. Maybe with frustration, hurt, or even guilt-tripping. But here's the problem. Emotion-driven reactions rarely earn respect. In fact, they often give your children an excuse to dismiss you as emotional or overreacting. So, how do you break that cycle? The key is to practice what I call calm authority. That means speaking with the same steady confidence you'd use with a colleague or friend, not the pleading tone we sometimes slip into with family. For example, imagine your daughter keeps making doctor's appointments for you without asking. Instead of saying, "Why do you always do this? You never listen to me," which puts her on defense. Try this. "I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'd like to handle my own appointments. Let me know next time before you schedule anything." Notice the difference? No blame, no drama, just a clear, respectful statement. And when you deliver it with calm assurance, it's much harder to ignore. This isn't about being cold. It's about showing that your words have weight. And over time, they'll start to treat them that way. 4. Stop explaining yourself why less is more. Here's a habit many of us fall into without realizing it. We over-explain. We justify our decisions, repeat ourselves, or try to make them understand why we want something a certain way. But here's the truth. The more you explain, the more you imply that your choices need justification, and that subtly undermines your authority. For instance, say you decide to sell your car because you're not driving much anymore. Your son protests. But what if you need it? What about emergencies? Instead of listing all the reasons, well, insurance is expensive and I can always Uber, try this. I've thought it through and this is what works for me. Period. No debate. This doesn't mean you can't share your reasoning if you want to, but you're not obligated to. When you stop defending your choices as if they're up for approval, your children start to see them as just that, your choices, not negotiations. And that's when respect grows. Now, these 4 strategies can make a profound difference in how your children treat you. But there are 2 more that tie everything together, because respect isn't just about changing their behavior. It's about shifting the entire dynamic in a way that lasts. And that's where we're headed next. We've come a long way in rebuilding respect with your children, from setting boundaries to communicating with quiet confidence. But here's where we take it all home with the final 2 strategies that will help cement this new dynamic. Because true respect isn't about demanding it. It's about creating an environment where it grows naturally. 5. Become the example of how you want to be treated. There's an old saying, we teach people how to treat us. And nowhere is this truer than with our adult children. If you want kindness, show kindness. If you want patience, demonstrate patience. But most importantly, if you want respect, you must model self-respect in everything you do. Let me share something profound I've noticed. The seniors who command the most respect from their families are those who treat themselves with dignity first. They dress well even at home. They maintain their hobbies and friendships. They speak about themselves positively. Why does this matter? Because when your children see you honoring yourself, they unconsciously follow suit. Try this starting tomorrow. Before any interaction with your kids, ask yourself, am I acting in a way that deserves respect right now? Not in a self-critical way, but as a gentle check-in. Because when you carry yourself like someone worthy of respect, the world, including your children, will reflect that back to you. 6. Create new relationship rules together. Here's where we put all the pieces together. After you establish your boundaries, shown your competence, and modeled self-respect, it's time for an open, loving conversation, but not the kind you might expect. Instead of saying, you need to respect me more, try this approach. I've been thinking about how we communicate, and I'd love for us to understand each other better. Can we talk about how we can both feel valued in our relationship? This makes it a partnership, not a demand. You might be surprised how adult children respond when given the chance to help solve the problem rather than being accused. Some may need time to adjust. Change doesn't happen overnight, but by consistently applying all these strategies while keeping the door open for honest dialogue, you create space for the respect you deserve to flourish. Remember this, my friend. You've lived decades of life, overcome countless challenges, and accumulated wisdom no textbook could ever teach. That deserves respect. Not because you're older, but because you're invaluable. Start with just one of these strategies today. Maybe it's setting that first boundary, or perhaps it's catching yourself before over-explaining a decision. Small steps lead to big changes. And if you stumble, that's okay. Respect, like any good relationship, is a practice, not a perfect. I'd love to hear your experiences with this. What's worked for you? What challenges you're facing? Share in the comments below because your story could help someone else. And if this resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more conversations like this. Until next time, remember, your voice matters. Your wisdom matters. You matter. Here's to your journey toward the mutual respect you deserve.